beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome to another installment of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Megs.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched 2012's Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. We've gotten to our second sequel. It's an hour and 36 minutes long. It's got 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. The synopsis is Johnny Blaze is now hiding out in Eastern Europe. He's struggling with the curse of the Ghost Rider, the Devil's Bounty Hunter. He meets a priest named Moreau, who's played by Idris Elba, who asks Johnny to find a boy named Danny and bring him back. But there's a catch. Satan, who's played by Ciarán Hinds, is looking for the boy too and has a personal stake in the matter. But if Johnny can find Danny first and save the boy's soul, there's a chance Johnny can save his own soul as well. Just a quick disclaimer. I realize that Idris Elba has a character name in this film. For the purposes of this recording, though, I will just be referring to him by his name, because I respect him that much.
And, listener, you're lucky we don't refer to him as the godlike Idris Elba, the gorgeous Idris Elba, the man I most want to boink Idris Elba.
For sure, because
he's all those things.
He's all of those, and so many more.
And so many more.
I am aware of the effect I have on women.
So we start our movie with Idris Elba. He's riding his motorcycle to a monastery to share really dreamy looks with a priest that's played by Anthony Stewart Head.
Yay!
And they love him. They talk about a boy that has to be taken by the, quote, writer to a safe place called Sanctuary because the devil wants him until after this winter solstice, and then a bunch of guys show up and desecrate a church with guns and murder. There's a lady in red. She rushes a young boy down some back stairs. Idris runs after them, swearing that he can help. Meanwhile, Anthony Stewart Head gets shot and a chase ensues. Sorry, Giles. It was nice to see you for a second. We then have a voiceover with Johnny Blaze, who, again, is played by Nick Cage. He's basically recapping the first film and how he became a Ghost Rider and that he's left the U.S. on the run from the devil. We see him startle awake because Idris Elba has found him. They have a bit of a scuffle. Idris calls him weak. Johnny asks what he wants, and Idris says he needs Johnny's help with a boy. Johnny has to save him. Johnny says he doesn't save people, but Idris convinces him by promising to help him lift the curse of the Ghost Rider. So now we're in Romania, and the lady in red is there, where she's apparently taught the boy, who is also apparently her son, how to pickpocket. She promises to keep him safe. Meanwhile, Johnny's having some trouble getting the rider to come out because he's been suppressing it for a really long time. But now this woman and her kid are in danger, and with some men chasing them, so he's able to get it up. The bad guys, they catch the woman. There's a struggle. The kid gets put in a trunk, and just before the mom is shot, the Ghost Rider appears and fucks all the bad guys up. It's a really cool CGI scene. A couple of the bad guys have really good guns, and they're able to get away with the kid. There's like 3 of them that are left with him. Johnny ends up in the hospital from his injuries. They've mostly healed, but he's in pain and he wants morphine, but the nurse won't give it to him, so he steals it. As he's leaving, he runs into the woman while he's trying to leave. She starts to walk away and he follows her. A new person arrives. It's Rourke. He's played again by Ciarán Hinds. He's the bad guy's boss. The bad guy is calling him because he wants more money for the kid because of the Ghost Rider. And Rourke says to put the kid on the phone, and then he says something that we can't hear. And the kid screams and then passes out. The bad guy asks what happens. Rourke says that now the rider won't be able to find him. Johnny is still following the woman whose name is Nadia. His right hand hurts really bad for some reason, and he's still struggling to move from his injuries, but she knows that he's there. She confronts him, asks if he works for the devil, what he wants. He offers to help, but he can't track the kid anymore. He says that he's blocked, but he knows that this mother knows something. She explains how Rourke saved her life. He wanted a kid, so she's the baby mama. So she had an affair with the devil, which is just wonderful. She says that she knows someone who knows the head bad guy, and they head there. We have another voiceover explaining that the devil is weak when he walks the earth, so he has emissaries that make deals for him, which is how Johnny's deal ended up getting made in the first movie. We're back with the kid. He's very brave. He makes the bad guy's car crash to try to get away from them. But then he falls and hurts his ankle. And the bad guys, they steal a van and then they're on the move again. Back with Johnny and Nadia, they end up at an underground fighting ring. Johnny is struggling to keep the rider contained and under control. There's a really great speech that Johnny makes. It's a very Nick Cage moment.
You're talking Kerrigan. I talked to a lot of people. Hey, I got what you need for those shakes, my friend. Kerrigan must have told you about that thing that killed his men last night, huh? Yeah? That thing is inside of me. See, you're a bad man. And this thing, the rider, he feeds on them and he's hungry. He's hungrier than he's been years, and that's why I'm shaking. Because right now, the only thing standing between you and the rider is me. And he's scraping at the door. Scraping at the door. All right, if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'm gonna let him out. And when he's done with you, there won't be anything left. Do you understand? Do you understand? Shake your head, yes or no. Good girl. Where's Kerrigan? What's the kid? The kid Kerrigan! You will tell me, or would he just think it's so good? The party!
That he makes to this guy at the fighting ring that knows where the bad guys took the kid. He's scared. He gives it the location. As they leave, Johnny becomes the rider in another really awesome CGI scene, but it's clear that he's having trouble holding on to it. There's another bad guy meeting that happens in a very dirty yard with shipping containers. The main bad guy is buying big bada boom weapons. Nadia finds them. She finds the boy, but she gets caught. She ends up killing the guy that catches her. Now the Ghost Rider shows up, but the bad guys have way better weapons now. And they shoot an anti-tank missile at him, but he avoids it. There's a really awesome sequence with some metal music while the rider gets to work on killing dudes. Even grenades at this point, for some reason, can't take him out, even though he was just severely injured. They hit him with another kind of missile, and now he's mostly smoke. But he does climb up and gets into something that looks, I guess, like a quarry digger. It's a very large piece of machinery. And so that becomes his horse. It flames on. It's pretty cool looking. And then the rider wrecks the whole yard while Nadia and the boy flee. The rider is following after Nadia as he is planning to suck her soul out because she's a bad person because she had an affair with the devil. But the kid gets out of the car and tells him to stop. But he says it with power. And so the rider is gone and Johnny is back. Next, it's daytime. They're at a diner. Johnny tries to connect with the kid while the mom gasses up the truck. But the kid just says that he's cooler than most of the guys that she normally hangs out with, and it's all good. They make plans to make it to Sanctuary. Johnny's already called Idris. He'll meet them on the road. At the same dirty yard with shipping containers where the rider just dominated, Rourke shows up to investigate, and he's disappointed about losing the boy. He brings back the head goon as some kind of demon that can decay things. We're back now with Johnny and the kid. They're riding in the back of, well, not really in, they're just on the back of a tow truck, the bed of a tow truck, on their way to Sanctuary.
Which is a great place for a small child to ride.
Oh, yeah. And a great place for a heart-to-heart with a male role model. Like, it's perfect, right?
There's no sides to the back of this truck.
Nope.
It's a flatbed.
And Johnny's just up walking around casually like it's fucking nothing.
Just walking around, and the kid's sitting there with no seatbelt, and this is just the perfect place to have a heart-to-heart.
Yeah, and during this heart-to-heart, Johnny explains to the kid that their powers do come from dark places. It's not who they are. They can use it to do good. And then Idris Elba shows up on his motorcycle. Johnny decides that he's going to unhook his motorcycle from the tow truck that they've been riding in and takes the kid on a ride, popping wheelies and shit. It's a superfluous scene, but it's fun. Johnny, Nadia, the kid, and Idris make it to the Sanctuary. It's a giant structure that's built like into the side of a mountain or something, and it's populated with like extremely tattooed monks. Like, they're tattooed all over their entire bodies with like very small script. Like they're serial killers. Anyways, Idris tells Nadia to take the boy and go with this one group, and then tells Johnny to come with him to talk about getting rid of his curse, but he just takes him to the wine cellar. Johnny's asking, what is the rider that lives inside of him? And Idris explains that it was an angel of justice, but somehow he was tricked into hell and then driven mad. Now he's a spirit of vengeance, but he asks Johnny if you can feel the angel is still in there somewhere. And Johnny says no. Idris says it's okay, he'll be rid of it soon. Idris tells Johnny that he needs to confess, like, the thing that he is most afraid to admit. And Johnny says that he didn't make the deal for his dad. He did it for himself. His dad was ready to die, but he was selfish. He wanted him to live. Idris then performs a drunken communion so Johnny can become a Christian and end his curse. Johnny goes into some weird chamber by himself. It's never discussed what the ritual is, what this room is for. Anyways, he's attacked by some kind of light. And then there's a really cool black and white CGI scene that reminds me a lot of the iPod ads that were popular at the time, of the Air Rider, or of the rider just covered in black smoke. It's like just black and white, and chains are coming out of his mouth. It's kind of cool, but that's what it reminded me of, was the Apple, like, shuffle, the iPod shuffle commercials. Johnny wakes up from this. He goes to tell Idris that it worked, but he hears screaming, and the monks at the temple have taken Nadia and Idris hostage. He demands why they are doing this, and we learn that the monks want to kill the kid. The head monk has Johnny, Nadia, and Idris taken and held somewhere else while the kid is taken outside to be beheaded. Then the decay demon shows up and decays all the monks just before they can kill the kid. Somehow our three heroes make it out of whatever it is that they're being held in with no resistance, and they find the decayed monks outside, and Johnny demands to know about the prophecy. Idris explains that the boy is meant to be a new vessel for Rourke. They argue. Nadia's upset that Johnny got rid of his curse, but her son didn't get rid of his. Johnny, of course, says he's still going to help. The decay demon shows up with the kid at Rourke's place. Rourke is a bit salty, but the demon says, hey, it's not until dawn tomorrow. I'm early, get off my back. And all this is happening while our heroes are arming up. Back at Rourke's, Rourke is trying to connect with his kid. He tells him to imagine a flamethrower, but the kid just flashes back to an image from his ride in the tow truck with Johnny, where when he asks him what happens when you're the Ghost Rider when you have to pee, and there's just an image of him pretending to pee, and he's like, it's like pissing a flamethrower. It's actually kind of funny. So he just laughs. So Rourke is annoyed by that, but he explains that his body is weak and human, and it gets damaged when he has to use his power. So the kid, he's only half human. He can wield the power without burning up, and then he drugs the kid to keep him sedated until the ceremony. Our heroes have made it to the place where Rourke and the kid are. They scout around. Unsurprisingly, a lot of politicians from all over the world are there for the ceremony. While it's still dark, the ritual starts in an amphitheater with a lot of chanting. Johnny and Nadia have a heart-to-heart about her love for her son, and then our heroes start making their way in by taking dudes out with stealth, and then not so stealthily. Johnny makes it into the amphitheater onto the stage as the ritual is starting to get really going. Both Rourke and the kid have black eyes now, and there's like a shadow moving from Rourke towards the kid. Idris bursts in with a machine gun and starts shooting the chanters in the stands. Then the decay demon shows up to stop him. Meanwhile, Johnny runs onto the stage. He tries to get to the kid. He tells him he should have kept his curse and that Rourke is going to erase him. But Rourke then throws Johnny off the stage. Once Idris is dead, the decay demon goes for Johnny, but the kid stops him. Johnny says, this isn't who you are, kid. It never will be. And the kid looks at Rourke. He confirms that they have the same powers. And then he and Johnny just stare at each other. And Johnny says, go ahead, do it. And the kid jumps and he pounces on him. And he spews the Ghost Rider back into Johnny. The kid passes out. Rourke grabs him and runs. As they're driving away, the rider hauls ass after them. He makes quick work of the vehicles, even claiming one of them as his own and mowing through them. Nadia is following not far behind, but the decay demon is giving her grief. Johnny grabs him with his chain and they fight, but the rider wins. The pursuit is back on. He reaches the lead car with Rourke and the kid and flips it with his chain. Rourke is crawling away when the rider reaches him. He says to Johnny it's the worst deal he's ever made, and then the rider sends him back to hell. Nadia is calling for her kid, but she sees the wrecked car and the rider standing next to it. The rider looks into the car. He pulls the kid out, but he seems dead. Johnny is now himself again. He tells Nadia that Idris said the rider is an angel that went crazy, but he can feel him. He can feel the angel, and now his right hand is just bones with blue flames. He touches the kid, and the kid is okay. The kid asks if they won. Johnny says, hell yes. And then we get a voiceover, and it's Johnny, and he says, my name is Johnny Blaze. I'm the Ghost Rider. And we cut to the credits. This movie was kind of dumb, but also had a lot of cool stuff. What did you think?
This movie is not good. This is not as good as the first one.
No, it's not. It's not.
Addition of Idris Elba aside.
Yes. I now quite remember that the reason that I enjoyed it more than the first one was simply because of his presence.
Yes.
And his French accent.
I am aware of the effect I have on women.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was great to see Anthony Stewart Head in the beginning. I thought seeing Anthony Stewart Head gave me irrational hope that this was going to be a good movie. It is not. The CGI isn't as good as the first one. The acting isn't as good as the first one. And the plot's not as good as the first one.
I agree on every one of those points. On every one of them. I will say that I think that the CGI scenes themselves, as far as like direction wise, I think they were a bit cooler. I think the images were a bit crisper than the first one, but overall it wasn't great. And they had a lot of them that they just like threw in there for filler.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like images of like him like becoming the Ghost Rider, like the skull smoking out. And like we get that he's struggling, but like that's already apparent. It doesn't need to be overdone. And it was really overdone.
Yeah.
The constant switching of his quote vehicle was the first time it was cool. Actually I don't know if it was the first time. No, the first time was when he got on the big quarry grinder thing, that giant hulking fucking machine.
That scene's pretty cool.
That scene is pretty cool. But it doesn't make sense that he's all of a sudden able to withstand the armaments that they have, considering that a grenade launcher took him out last time.
They were throwing grenades at him, and it was seriously hurting him, so much so that when he woke up and he was Johnny Blaze again, he was still in a lot of pain and was demanding morphine. So all of a sudden they've graduated to rocket launchers and fucking missiles, and he's surviving that like it ain't no thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and like again, the first time it was cool, but the constant changing of the vehicles. And now there's also a bigger plot hole for me because of this movie now, how is Sam Elliott still a Ghost Rider? Because of its possession, if he's possessed by a crazy angel, how is the crazy angel possessing multiple people?
Yeah, it does muddy up the lore a bit.
Yeah, the acting was definitely worse. But then again, I'm just going to be real honest right now. Anytime that I watch a movie and it's usually a sequel and there's now a kid involved, it's usually a disappointment.
This is true. Never
I'm
acted
usually
kids
not a fan.
Or animals.
Yeah. I mean, they're inevitably either going to be very bad or very sad, or sometimes inexplicably both. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that there was a lot of false hope at the beginning, because you see the very first thing that you see is Idris Elba and Anthony Stewart Head making moony eyes at each other and having a really deep conversation about prophecy, and you're like, oh, this is going to be good. And then Giles bites it immediately.
Yeah.
And like, well, there it goes. Unfortunate. What grade would you give this movie?
D?
I could live with a D. What did we give the first one? Did we give it a C?
Well, let's see here. Handy dandy spreadsheet tells me that we gave Ghost Rider a B.
Ah, look at that. Decidedly better.
Yeah, I would give this a D.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stuff. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about the villains. And the villains in the first one, they were mostly CGI. And in this one, the decay demon, I think his character's name was Kerrigan, but he's just a bad guy. Nobody knows who he is. I thought his power was kind of cool because he could take his victims into like an artificial darkness and terrify them as they were decaying, which was kind of neat to see. But his makeup looked so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to pick at it because it was just, like,
And
peeling.
his personality was so bad.
So bad. He, just a dude, bro. Just, like, some douchey college kid. Like, that's what, like, to me, that's what he reminded me of.
Yeah, he had really no personality to speak of. He was just an asshole. And there's a way to do that while still having something, while still projecting something that's worth seeing on screen.
Right. Yeah, something with gravitas. This guy was mostly just, like, a whiny bitch.
Yeah. What would we give the Nick Caginess of it?
I was just about to ask you what your thoughts on that was.
Ooh, I feel like Cage is overdoing it in this role. I feel like in this, like, there's that scene where they go to the underground fighting ring and he's trying to keep the writer at bay and he's like berating the bad guy and he just is so over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It is so bad. It's gone from that. There's a fine line between good Weird Cage and bad Weird Cage.
Yeah,
And
the
he
thing
went
about
into bad Weird Cage.
and the thing about that scene is that you watch it happen because it started good. It started as a good rant. It like the same body and facial work that we recognize in his great rants, but about halfway through it started to slip and you're like, this is too much. He's doing way more than he's just doing everything. And it wasn't, no, you're right. It wasn't good. So I think to be fair, I think that I would have to give him a D too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a disappointing turn from Cage.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is the second movie in the second set of pairs of films that he has that have been, I think, both produced through Disney, or, well, I guess Ghost Rider was probably still through Fox at that point.
Ghost Rider was through Columbia.
Oh, was it through Columbia?
Columbia distributed it, at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say that this one did have more of a, even though it wasn't connected to Marvel and the MCU, it did have more of a Marvel feel to it. It was a bit brighter with the color palette. It also took more stuff took place in the daytime than in the first movie, so that's probably a good reason why. But I think it's a D on both ends. I mean, if you're a completionist like I am and you just have to see it, like, go ahead. But otherwise, I mean, I think that I would say that, listener, you should skip it. It's just not good. Other than, Idris Elba, who is chef's kiss every time.
I love Idris Elba. I love him
so much.
And I love saying his name. It's so much fun. Idris Elba.
It's so pretty. It sounds like a flower.
It does.
If this were an Idris Elba podcast, what would be the Idris?
We should do an Idris Elba podcast.
That might be a good idea. What would you give the Idris Elba-ing of it?
Well, he's got light-colored eyes in this, which is a beautiful look on him.
He has a French accent as well.
He has a French accent. I would give the Idris Elba-ness of it an A.
I agree. He's a pretty man with a pretty face and pretty awesome acting skills.
And he makes all the girls go ooh la la.
I am aware of the effect I have on women.
Yes, that's accurate. Facts on facts. Well, listener, if you like what you're hearing and you want to follow along, you can find us on socials on Instagram at NotTheBeastPod. You can also, if you like what we're doing and want to support us in any way, monetarily, you can see us over at patreon.com/NotTheBees. If you want to kick us a couple of bucks. We would love it if you interacted with this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts, like, comment, share, subscribe, however those platforms work. But until next time, I've been Megs.
I'm Elizabeth.
And we'll see you next time.